Chapter 71 Angry Wang Congcong. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A voice boomed through the room, everyone turned to look. A young guy with a slicked back, center-parted hairstyle was striding in, a definite frown etched on his face. Who's that? Someone whispered. No clue. Doesn't look like he's from Shanghai, does he? Hold on. Don't you know who that is? That's Wang Congcong, the young owner of Tianhe Group. Him. Wang Congcong. The Tianhe Group's heir apparent. Wow. It is him. Heard he was in town. Didn't expect to see him here. This is getting good. Things are about to get interesting. Almost instantly, the crowd buzzed with anticipation. After all, Tianhe Group was a massive player, started out in real estate, building huge commercial districts. Their property holdings were all over the major cities, and lately, they've been raking in money with some killer overseas investments. Seeing Wang Congcong arrive, Nanzhi's brow furrowed slightly, a nagging feeling started to creep into the back of her mind. At the same time, Chen, still wobbly from being slapped, got up. She stumbled over to Wang Congcong, tears streaming down her face. Brother Wang. You gotta help me. You gotta. She sobbed, her words were slurred and hard to understand. Wang Congcong, while not particularly close to Chen, was still annoyed by her pathetic state. He immediately asked, who did this? Chen was basically his date for the night. If he didn't stand up for her now, he'd be a laughingstock among his friends. Chen eyes lit up, she pointed a shaky finger at Lin Mo. Brother Wang. That's him. He did it. The guy's a maniac. We had a small tiff, and he just starts slapping me. Knocked out my teeth. You gotta do something. Chen sounded completely victimized. Wang Congcong frowned, then turned his gaze on Lin Mo. But the second he saw Lin Mo's face, a jolt went through him. It's him. He frantically pulled out his phone, searching for the picture his dad had sent him yesterday. He studied the photo, his heart started to pound. It really is him. The guy standing in front of him was the one from the picture. The guy who was now their family's second largest shareholder. Lin Mo. Wang Congcong got a sudden rush of excitement. He strode quickly toward Lin Mo. Seeing him approach, Nanzhi felt her heart jump into her throat. She knew Lin Mo had some sort of mysterious background, but still. This was Wang Congcong, Tianhe Group's golden boy. Lin Mo, what's going to happen? She quickly texted her grandfather, hoping he could get here fast and, well, protect Lin Mo. After all, she felt responsible for this whole mess. Around them, people were already writing Lin Mo's obituary. Well, kid screwed, someone muttered. Who knew Chen was tight with Wang Congcong? Yeah. Chen, meanwhile, was practically glowing with vindictive glee. You bastard. You dared hit me, you piece of trash. See how cocky you are now. She yelled at Lin Mo. But before the words were even out of her mouth, Wang Congcong spun around and kicked her hard in the stomach. Oof! Chen crumpled to the ground, gasping in pain. Say one more word. Who do you think you're yelling at? Mr. Lin is way out of your league. Wang Congcong spat. He kicked Chen a couple more times for good measure. Then, he hurried over to Lin Mo, bowed deeply, and said, Mr. Lin. I'm so sorry. I didn't recognize you. Please forgive my offense. The room fell silent, everyone was in shock. What was happening? Wang Congcong, the future king of Tianhe Group, was acting like a servant to Lin Mo. It was unreal. The crowd was stunned. And there, Chen curled up on the floor, clutching her stomach. A horrifying thought took shape in her mind. Could it be? Is Lin Mo the big shot brother Wang was talking about? No way. There are barely any big players with the last name Lin in Shanghai. And I've never seen this guy at any of the usual spots. Fear washed over Chen face, and, despair. Nanzhi was completely lost, watching Wang Congcong grovel before Lin Mo. Her mouth went dry. What is going on? Who is Lin Mo, how can Wang Congcong be this deferential, she couldn't wrap her head around it. Just then, a booming voice cut through the silence. Make way, Mr. Mu is here. The crowd parted as Mu Jiangwo rushed in. He'd just gotten a panic text from his granddaughter about a clash between Lin Mo and Wang Congcong over her. Mu Lao couldn't sit still, he had to get here and smooth things over. He didn't want to upset either side. One was Tianhe Group's heir, the other was the mysterious Lin Mo. This was a major headache. He rushed forward, forcing a smile. Ha! Mr. Wang, what brings you here? But then Mr. Mu saw Wang Congcong, bowing respectfully to Lin Mo. His mind blanked. Mu Lao. Who am I? Where am I? What the heck is going on? Chapter 72 Lin Mo, my family is an ordinary family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Mu Lao was completely stunned. He just stood there, totally bewildered by the scene in front of him. What in the world was going on? He thought Lin Mo and Wang Congcong were having a fight, but the three of them noticed Mu Lao approaching. Nanzhi quickly went to greet him. Grandfather. Lin Mo nodded to Mu Lao, saying. Hey, Mu. Wang Congcong, standing nearby, respectfully addressed the old man. Master. Wang Congcong wouldn't dare to offend this old guy, even though Mu's group was relatively new, its growth had been explosive, plus, the Mu family had serious connections. Mu Lao looked at Wang Congcong and chuckled. Prince Wang, do you know Lin, here? We hadn't formally met, but I've admired Mr. Lin's reputation for a while now. Mu Lao was even more confused. Before he could say anything, Wang Congcong continued. Actually, I came to see Mr. Lin on my father's behalf. If my father, here, wasn't tied up, he would have come himself. Mu Lao and Mu Nanzhi looked at each other, totally lost. Who was Lin Mo? How could he warrant a personal visit from Wang Yingjia, the chairman of Tianhe Group? Mu Lao finally asked, puzzled. What's all this about? Wang Congcong looked at Lin Mo, waiting for his cue. Lin Mo waved his hand. It's okay, go ahead and tell him. Lin Mo didn't want to keep it a secret any longer. He owned 25% of Tianhe Group. That was huge news, and it wouldn't be long before it shook the industry. Better to be upfront about it. Alright, Wang Congcong nodded and explained respectfully. Mr. Lin purchased 25% of Tianhe Group. He's now the second largest individual shareholder, after my father. Boom. The room went silent. Everyone was floored. He held 25% of the shares. In Tianhe Group. Jiang Hai was speechless. Lin Mo was Tianhe Group's second largest shareholder. Was this some kind of joke? He'd been messing with a guy like this. Jiang Hai's mind raced. He'd made a decision, so what if he'd gotten caught doing something shady? Now he had a connection. He needed to find a way to deepen this relationship. Ride this guy's coattails. Mu Lao and Mu Nanzhi both swallowed hard. They'd considered so many possibilities, but never this one. It was just too outlandish. Inconceivable. 25% of Tianhe Group. The second largest shareholder. Unbelievable. Chen was panicking. She felt dizzy. She'd suspected that Lin Mo was the big shot Wang Congcong mentioned, but hearing it confirmed was devastating. Gotta run before they notice me. Enduring the pain in her stomach, Chen pushed herself up from the ground and started to sneak away, but Wang Congcong spotted her. He gave Chen a chilling look. Trying to run? Think you can? Chen froze. Mu Lao narrowed his eyes, finally understanding. He smirked. A kid from the Chen family? Some nerve. He called out. Hujio. An old man with a mustache, dressed in a suit, came forward. Prepare a room for the Chen family's son and let him rest there. I'll personally take young Master Chen home later, and we'll have some tea with the head of the Chen family. I haven't seen old Chen in ages. I miss him dearly. Yes, sir. Hujio approached Chen with a smile. Young Master Chen, this way, please. Chen face went white with despair. Mu Lao turned to Lin Mo and said. Mr. Lin, Mr. Wang, this isn't the place to talk. Shall we move somewhere else? Sounds good. 10 minutes later, they were on the second floor, in a private room. Lin Mo and Wang Congcong were chatting comfortably. Mu Lao and Mu Nanzhi had already left. After some small talk, Wang Congcong seemed to have gotten a sense of Lin Mo's personality. He smiled and said, "There's one thing that's been bugging me, and I was hoping I could get your advice." Lin Mo took a sip of tea and replied, "You want to know why I bought 25% of Tianhe's shares?" He already knew what Wang Congcong was going to ask. Wang Congcong smiled, touched his nose, and nodded. "Yeah, you're a smart guy, Lin." Lin Mo chuckled, then he said calmly, "Simple, I believe in Tianhe Group. I think it can make money. I don't have any grand ambitions. I just want to get rich. My family doesn't have much money. We're just an ordinary family, and I'm afraid of being poor." Lin Mo's words were casual. Wang Congcong's mouth twitched. "Ordinary family, my foot. What ordinary family quietly acquired 25% of Tianhe Group?" "Yeah, right." Wang Congcong inwardly rolled his eyes, but he still nodded and said, "Huh, right on. So, are you at all concerned about the current chairman change issues that Tianhe is dealing with?" Chapter 73 The Active Mu Nanzhi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Change the chairman. Lin Mo looked totally bewildered by Wang Congcong's words. He had no idea what was going on. Wang Congcong was equally stunned. Didn't Lin Mo know about this? Hesitantly, he explained, "Some shareholders who control about 10% of the company's stock are talking about impeaching my dad and forcing him out." Lin Mo frowned. After thinking for a moment, he asked, "Really? Dude, you didn't know?" Lin Mo shook his head. "Honestly, no. I wasn't paying much attention when I bought the stock. The price seemed okay, so I just went for it." Lin Mo's tone was casual. He wasn't lying. For him, Tianhe Group stock really wasn't expensive. He'd gotten 10% with reputation points, and the other 15% cost him $100 on the app. But Wang Congcong was floored. A 25% stake in Tianhe Group wasn't expensive. Wow, you had to be loaded to say something like that. Tianhe Group wasn't quite worth $1 trillion, but it was still worth over 500 billion. 25% of that would cost at least 100 billion. And Lin Mo was calling that, not expensive? Wang Congcong was genuinely shocked. More than 100 billion wasn't expensive. Just who was this Lin Mo? How much money did his family have? He swallowed hard, impressed. Lin Mo smiled. "Don't worry about my shares. I just want to make a little money on the side. As long as Tianhe Group keeps turning a profit, I won't rock the boat." That was all Wang Congcong needed to hear. He visibly relaxed. Lin Mo had made his position clear. He grinned. "Then I appreciate your support, Lin." Lin Mo just smiled back. The two continued to chat for another half hour before leaving the room, both sporting smiles. Their relationship seemed like that of old friends. As they emerged, they were immediately greeted by many people in the banquet hall, who eagerly handed Lin Mo their business cards. Even though Lin Mo was a dozen or 20 years younger than them, they addressed him as Mr. Lin with respect. Lin Mo's status spoke for itself. Soon after, they made their way to the entrance of the Moda Hotel. Wang Congcong smiled at Lin Mo. "I gotta run, Lin. If you're free in a few days, let's hang out." "Sounds good. See you then." Wang Congcong hopped into his car and sped off, eager to report back to his father. Lin Mo turned to Mu Nanzhi. "Are you heading out, Ms. Mu?" "Yeah, Grandpa's visiting an old friend." Lin Mo nodded. The two got into the Bentley, and they headed towards the villa, near Dongjiao No. 1. They got out of the car, while Sun Fu drove back to the villa. Lin Mo and Mu Nanzhi strolled along the road until they reached the central lake in the eastern suburbs No. 1 villa area. They sat down on a bench. "Thanks for earlier at the hotel," Mu Nanzhi said, exhaling softly. She shuddered slightly and looked up at the sky. Lin Mo quietly watched her profile. In the moonlight, her face was bathed in a soft glow, making her look incredibly pure. To be honest, if you hadn't stepped in, I don't know what I would have done. The Chen family backing Chen Wan is nearly as powerful as my own. That's why he's been able to keep bothering me, even though I've rejected him constantly. Nanzhi smiled at Lin Mo, their eyes meeting. But from now on, I don't have to worry about him harassing me anymore. So, thank you, again. Seeing her like this caught Lin Mo off guard. He didn't expect that Nanzhi, a woman known as a powerful businesswoman, could have such a vulnerable side. Then, suddenly, Nanzhi leaned in and touched his lips. In the moonlight, Lin Mo could see her eyelashes flutter. He was speechless. Meanwhile, at Chen's villa in the Jujiantang villa area, Elder Mu was drinking tea in the hall. Chen Tianhe, the Chen family patriarch, sat beside him. Chen Wan's father, Chen Shiji, sat with a grim face, staring at Chen Wan, who stood in the hall, covered in injuries. Chen Tianhe spoke slowly. Brother Jingzhou, aren't you overreacting? What did my grandson do to deserve this? Chen Tianhe was annoyed. Chen Wan was the only grandson, the third generation of the Chen family. They doted on him, and now he'd been beaten up. Mu Lao calmly took a sip of his tea. Overreacting? It seems you don't know Tianhe very well. Your precious grandson behaved horribly at our Mu family's banquet today. Chapter 74 The Desperate Chen Family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A hush fell over the room. Chen Tianhe and Chen Shiji were present. Everyone was stunned for a moment, trying to decipher Mu Lao's words. Chen Wan, standing below, was visibly shaken by Mu Lao's pronouncement. His face paled. This is it. Chen Wan thought, I'm done for. If his father and grandfather found out he'd offended the second largest shareholder of Tianhe Group, he'd be lucky to escape with his hide. Maybe he should just pre-book an ICU room to be safe. Chen Shiji, noticing his son's reaction, frowned. Uncle, he said, has my dog gotten into trouble again? Mu Lao simply smiled, took a sip of tea, and replied calmly, you should ask your son what he's done. Hearing this, Chen Tianhe and Chen Shiji felt a knot form in their stomachs. They knew Chen Wan had really messed up this time. Chen Shiji glared at Chen Wan. You little punk. Tell us. What the hell did you do? Chen Wan's legs buckled, he dropped to his knees with a thud. Explain. Chen Tianhe roared, slamming his hand on the table, his face dark, trembling. Chen Wan stammered, I offended Wang Congcong, the second largest shareholder of Tianhe Group. Boom. The words hit Chen Tianhe and Chen Shiji like a lightning strike. Their faces drained of color. They suspected Chen Wan had crossed the wrong person, but they never imagined it would be this bad. Tianhe Group. That was one of the top companies in the country. The Chens might be big fish in their little pond in the capital, but they were minnows compared to Tianhe Group. Normally, they'd be falling over themselves to curry favor with someone like that, and Chen Wan had actually managed to offend the young master, the second largest shareholder. Chen Tianhe and Chen Shiji sank into their chairs, their faces etched with despair. You. Useless. Useless. Chen Tianhe sputtered, his face contorted with rage. Chen Shiji glared daggers at Chen Wan. If Mu Lao hadn't been there, he would have strung up his wayward son then and there. Mu Lao, meanwhile, smiled, finished his tea, and said, it's getting late. I shouldn't intrude any longer. Chen Shiji stood up, forcing a smile. I'll see you out, Uncle Mu. No need, no need. Mu Lao smiled and started to leave, but then Chen Tianhe spoke up. Brother Jingzhou, please wait. Mu Lao paused. Yes. Chen Tianhe gritted his teeth. Brother Jingzhou, please save our family. Please, tell me the address of the second largest shareholder. We'll be at his door first thing in the morning to beg forgiveness. Mu Lao chuckled softly. East Suburb Number 1, Villa Number 1. Just those 8 words sent Chen Tianhe and Chen Shiji reeling. A storm brewed inside them. East Suburb Number 1. Villa 1. They knew that villa. It was the most famous building in the whole city. They had heard that someone bought it recently. They wondered who would spend so much money on that super luxury house worth $600 million. Now they knew. It was Lin Mo, the second largest shareholder of Tianhe Group. He was the only one with that kind of power and money. Their minds raced, terrified. Old Chen bowed slightly, clasping his hands in front of him. Thank you. With that, Mtlnovel finally left. The moment he stepped out of the villa gate, a piercing scream erupted from inside, followed by a torrent of curses. I told you to stop causing me trouble. I'm going to beat you to death, you unfilial son. You're good for nothing but trouble. Let me beat this rebellious grandson to death. As the shouting and screaming escalated, Mtlnovel shook his head, got into his car, and drove away. Only the echoes of roars and screams remained. It was clear that the Chen family villa would not find peace that night. Meanwhile, back at Villa No. 1 in East Suburb No. 1, Lin Mo lay in the jacuzzi, recalling the warmth of Nanzhi's touch by the lake. He stared at the ceiling, lost in thought. He hadn't expected Nanzhi to be so forward. That kiss had really caught him by surprise. After all, they hadn't known each other for very long, but Nanzhi had made the first move. Xiaoyuma and Qin Feier's faces also swam into his mind. Lin Mo knew he had the potential to be a jerk. Ever since he got that Charm Max card, he had been very aware of it. But, honestly, he was hesitant. Should he confess? He couldn't hide it forever. Even if he was going to be a jerk, he had to be upfront about it, otherwise, he'd be in serious trouble. If he was open and honest, Qin Feier might be more understanding. Xiaoyuma wouldn't be a problem, but the question was, how should he navigate his relationship with Nanzhi? That was what troubled Lin Mo the most. His thoughts were a tangled mess. Damn it, he sighed deeply, his mood complex. Forget it. What am I supposed to do now? He shook his head and stood up from the jacuzzi. After drying himself, he put on his bathrobe. Everything will work out in the end. He whispered to himself and walked decisively toward the bedroom. Then he lay down on the bed. Everything would fall into place eventually. He'd deal with it when the time came. Chapter 75, Golden Nan Gloomy Wooden Tea Tray. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Mo's phone buzzed. He picked it up and saw a message from Xiaoyuma. Hey bro, my place tomorrow at 3 p.m. in the school auditorium. Wanna come? Lin Mo replied, sure thing, I'll be there to cheer you on. He'd already promised, and he wasn't one to back out. Xiaoyuma texted back, yay. I'll be waiting. I haven't seen you in forever, I miss you so much. Lin Mo's jaw dropped. That little gremlin. She's gonna get it after the play. Time to bring her back to earth. He closed the chat, texted Qin Feier for a bit, then crashed. The next morning, Lin Mo did his usual half-hour workout, showered, and grabbed some breakfast. Then, he checked his Subsidy app. He opened it up and saw the deals for the day. Whoa, 3 items. He zeroed in on them. Jingzhou Squirrel Grape Tea Set, $99.90. Golden Nanmu Tea Tray, $88.80. Lichen Hypersport, $55.50. Lin Mo was floored. These. He thought for a second, then just clicked buy on all 3. Purchase complete. Delivery in approximately 10 minutes. Please wait. He kicked back on the sofa and started messing with his phone. He didn't know the exact value of the tea set, but he knew a Golden Nanmu tea tray and a Lichen Hypersport were worth a small fortune. And if the tea set was even more expensive, that meant it was something special. 10 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Butler Huang Yuan answered it and signed for the deliveries. Boss, 3 packages for you. Lin Mo nodded. Just put M over there. He gestured to the coffee table. Right away, sir. Huang Yuan stacked the boxes on the table. Lin Mo finished his game, tossed his phone aside, grabbed a key, and started tearing into the packages. First up was a document pouch. Inside were the keys, registration, and title for the car. According to the app, the Lichen was parked out front of the neighborhood. Next was the Golden Nanmu tea tray. But this wasn't just any Golden Nanmu. It was purple-red Golden Nanmu heartwood. The carvings on the tray were incredibly detailed. There were even 2 dragons chasing a pearl. Damn! This thing is insane. Lin Mo was blown away. Then, he turned to the last item, the Jingzhou Squirrel Grape tea set. It looked like a normal purple clay tea set, but the squirrel and grape details looked like the real deal. This tea set looks pretty standard, Lin Mo said, shaking his head. Then he called out, Wang. Sir. Huang Yuan, who was supervising the other servants, rushed over. He bent down, listening intently. Have someone clean this tea set, and wash the tray too. I want to use it later to make some tea. Of course, OL. Before he could finish, Wang Yuan caught a whiff of something amazing. His eyes snapped to the golden Nanmo heartwood tea tray. His face froze. Golden Nanmo heartwood. And such a huge piece. Huang Yuan's throat tightened. Golden Nanmo was incredibly valuable. In ancient China, it was exclusively for royalty. Even in modern times, he'd seen golden Nanmo, but this was different. This was golden Nanmo heartwood. And it looked like the finest quality, combined with the carvings. It had to be the work of a master. A golden Nanmo heartwood tea tray this size, at auction, it could fetch at least $5 to $6 million. It was a collector's dream. And what had his boss just said? To take it and wash it. Then make tea with it. This, for a split second, Huang Yuan's heart stopped. He took 2 deep breaths and looked at his boss, completely gobsmacked. Boss, are you sure? What's wrong? Lin Mo glanced at Huang Yuan, completely unfazed. Huang Yuan realized something. Of course his boss knew how much the tray was worth. If he was telling him to clean it and make tea with it, he clearly just didn't care. He nodded quickly. Of course, sir. I'll get right on it. He carefully gathered the tea set and tray and headed to the kitchen. Time passed. 15 minutes later, the doorbell rang again. Huang Yuan opened it. An elderly man stood there with a respectful expression. Behind him was a middle-aged man, and beside him, a young man with a swollen face and purple bruises. The elderly man asked cautiously, Excuse me, is this the residence of Mr. Lin Mo? Chapter 76 Jingzhou Squirrel Grape Tea Set, shocked by the Chen family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Who are you? Huang Yuan eyed the 3 people standing before her, a flicker of doubt crossing her face. Tianhe, returning her gaze, didn't dare show the slightest disrespect. Sure, she was just a housekeeper, but he couldn't forget the terrifying power of her boss. After all, you don't kick the dog without thinking about the owner. And who was Huang Yuan's boss? Lin Mo, of course. And to top it off, they were here to apologize. Which meant that Huang Yuan, even just a housekeeper, was someone he absolutely couldn't afford to offend. I'm Tianhe, from the Chen family, and this is my son, Chen Shiji. Tianhe grimaced as he turned to glare at Chen Wan, adding, and this is my good-for-nothing grandson, Chen Wan. Huang Yuan's eyebrows shot up. She'd been in Shanghai for years, and a housekeeper for many. She knew the names Tianhe and Chen Shiji. These were heavy hitters in the city. And now, one of them was at her boss's door. Her gaze flickered. Huang Yuan glanced at the gifts in Chen Shiji's hands and then at Chen Wan, sporting a bruised nose and swollen face. A pretty good idea of what was going on started to form in her head. Sensing her gaze, Tianhe forced a smile. My grandson, here, did something regrettable. He offended Mr. Lin at a dinner party yesterday. We're here to apologize on his behalf. Huang Yuan's suspicion was confirmed, sending a shock through her. Who was her boss? That a titan of the city, head of the Chen family, would come begging forgiveness at his doorstep. Taking a breath, Huang Yuan said, Please wait here, I need to inform my boss. Of course. Huang Yuan slipped back inside, relaying the message to Lin Mo. He blinked, surprised, but nodded and said, Let them in. Yes. Huang Yuan returned to the door, and once she'd given the go-ahead, the Chen family trooped inside. Tianhe immediately bowed deeply to Lin Mo. Mr. Lin, I am so sorry for my grandson's behavior last night. On behalf of the Chen family, I offer my sincerest apologies. Chen Shiji bowed as well. Lin Mo, however, just casually played with his phone. Tianhe gritted his teeth and glared at Chen Wan. Suddenly, he lashed out with a kick. You little monster. Get down on your knees and apologize to Mr. Lin. Chen Wan's face contorted, and he started to protest, but one look at his grandfather's furious expression was enough to shut him up. He forced himself to kneel. Mr. Lin, I'm really sorry. I was ignorant and offended you. Lin Mo looked up. Now that's what I wanted to hear. Chen Wan flushed with shame. Lin Mo scoffed. Just so you know, Mama Nanzhi is a friend of mine. Chen Wan nodded frantically. Yes, yes, yes. I'll never set foot anywhere she is again. Lin Mo simply grunted, then, looking at Huang Yuan, who was still gaping, he said, Huang Yuan, have the servant bring tea. Yes. Huang Yuan nodded, hurrying away. All right, get up and sit down. Tianhe visibly relaxed. He took a seat opposite Lin Mo. Just then, the tea tray arrived, set on the coffee table. Tianhe's face twitched, staring at the massive Jinsen and Gloomy wooden tea tray. He was stunned. How loaded do you have to be to pull something like this? A tea tray of this kind of wood wasn't just hard to come by, it was practically sacrilegious to use it. If other collectors saw this, they'd be beside themselves with rage, ready to slap Lin Mo silly. Nice tea tray, Mr. Lin. Tianhe chuckled nervously. Meh, it's just a tea tray. Nothing special. Lin Mo said, unconcerned. Huang Yuan poured 4 cups of tea, passing them around. Lin Mo picked his up. Drink up. Tianhe's smile faltered. He nodded, taking a tentative sip, but just as he was about to set it down, he froze. His eyes were riveted to the picture of squirrels and grapes on the purple sand teacup. The carving was incredibly detailed. The handle looked like a vine. He slowly turned his gaze to the rest of the purple clay tea set. His breathing started to quicken. Mr. Lin, is your tea set by Master Gu Jingzhou? Tianhe swallowed hard. It is. Lin Mo said casually. Tianhe was speechless. His hand trembled as he carefully placed the teacup back on its saucer. He was holding something precious. A wave of shock crashed through him. He'd thought the wooden tea tray was crazy, but this tea set was beyond belief. A complete set of 10 squirrel grapes. Back in 2015, Dong Jingzhou, one of the biggest names in the tea world, had used his set to film present. The set had been auctioned off for a staggering 92 million Shenhao coins. And that was 6 years ago. It was probably worth over 100 million now. It was a treasure. But more than that, Lin Mo didn't seem to care at all. He just used it. Tianhe couldn't calm down. Wooden tea tray, Gu Jingzhou tea set. Lin Mo's identity was far more than a shareholder of Tianhe Group. Chapter 77. You call this thing chicken soup? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Okay, I get it. This is exactly what Tianhe was thinking. He was getting seriously ticked off at his own grandson. He was just fuming. If it wasn't for being at Lin Mo's place, he'd have been tempted to knock his grandson upside the head right then and there. But even so, he was already plotting. When they got back, Chen Wan was going to be grounded for 3 solid months. But, before any of that, Tianhe's face fell. He was worried. Deep down, the apology gift he prepared was an antique, worth $1 million. He'd thought that would be a pretty decent peace offering, but now, after seeing Lin Mo casually treat a tea set worth hundreds of millions as a regular item, what would they think of $1 million antique? He figured it'd probably look like trash to them. Suddenly, Tianhe felt a knot of anxiety in his stomach. His mind raced, then he braced himself. He gritted his teeth and said, Mr. Lin, this is a small gift for you. It's not much, but please accept it. With that, Tianhe grabbed the box sitting to the side. He placed it on the coffee table and slid it toward Lin Mo. Lin Mo didn't say a word. He just opened the wooden box and glanced inside. Inside was a blue and white porcelain cup. The blue glaze looked thick, almost clumsy, with a hint of ancient charm. Tianhe, trying to smooth things over, chimed in with a smile. It's a Yuan dynasty blue and white stem cup with dark dragon patterns. Just a token, nothing special. Hearing that, Huang Yuan almost choked. That Yuan dynasty blue and white dark dragon pattern goblet had gone for serious money at auction. Back in 2017, at the Yuting International Spring Auction in Sichuan, one just like it fetched a whopping 1.54 million Shenhua coins. That meant this cup was $1 million collectible. But Tianhe was acting like it was pocket change. It was unbelievable. For these rich folks, was $1 million gift considered a small thing? Lin Mo just nodded casually and said, "Not bad." Tianhe's heart sank a little, he steeled himself and added, "Also, Mr. Lin, there's 50 million in this card. Please, accept it." 50 million wasn't a fortune, not really, but handing it over still stung Tianhe. Sure, the Chen family was a big deal in the capital, but they were mostly in finance, their company's debt ratio was through the roof at 80%. That meant they had very little free cash flow, and in terms of straight cash that the Chen family could lay their hands on, it was only about 4 or 5 billion. So, 50 million was a serious chunk of change for them, but for Lin Mo, it was like hitting the jackpot. 50 million was a welcome addition to his bank account. He might have a lot of shares, but dividends from those companies were still a ways off, so, 50 million was pretty sweet. Okay. Lin Mo's face broke into a smile, he casually pocketed the card. "Alright, let's have some tea." "Yes, sir." Hearing Lin Mo's words, Tianhe let out a sigh of relief. They finished their tea, and then Tianhe said, "Mr. Lin, we won't keep you any longer." He turned to leave. Lin Mo didn't bother to ask Huang Yuan to see them out. Once they were outside the villa, Tianhe took another deep breath. Chen Shiji piped up, "Dad, wasn't 50 million a bit much?" "Much?" Tianhe shot Chen Shiji a look. "That money is nothing. Do you think someone who uses treasures worth hundreds of millions for tea sets, or a piece of golden nanmu as a tea tray is just some ordinary shareholder?" Hearing that, Chen Shiji felt a bead of sweat trickle down his forehead. It finally clicked. "So, if 50 million will keep Mr. Lin from coming after us, I'd pay it gladly, even if it was 500 million, Tianhe sighed, then he turned to Chen Wan, who was standing nearby, and said, "When you get back, you're grounded for 3 months, and your funds are frozen for 3 years. Plus, that 50 million is coming out of your allowance." Those words hit Chen Wan like a ton of bricks. The 3-month grounding was nothing, but a 3-year freeze on her funds. And deducting 50 million. That was what truly crushed Chen Wan. Even after the grounding was over, she'd still be stuck in the mud. As for borrowing money from her friends, they'd probably run for the hills the moment they heard her funds were frozen. Chen Wan's heart sank into the deepest despair. Meanwhile, back at the villa, Lin Mo had Huang Yuan carefully put away the blue and white porcelain goblet. Then, he transferred the 50 million from the bank card into his own account. His heart was filled with joy. Before he knew it, it was 11 o'clock in the morning. Just then, Nanzhi arrived at the villa, carrying a small pot. She sat down at the dining table. After Nanzhi lifted the lid of the pot, everyone saw a pile of black liquid inside. "Lin Mo, thanks for helping me out the other night. So, this morning, I made a pot of black bone chicken ginseng seahorse soup just for you." Lin Mo, hearing this, froze in his chair, staring at the pot of unknown black sludge. He was speechless. Huang Yuan and the servants nearby exchanged strange glances. Swallowing hard, Lin Mo asked tentatively, Is that chicken soup?" "Of course." Nanzhi proudly raised her head and said, "I've been working on it all morning. The black bone chicken was flown in from Mount Wu last night, special delivery. And the quail eggs are fresh from this morning, laid by Faju quails. Plus, I added a bunch of precious medicinal herbs to the brew. I promise, 1 sip of this and you'll feel years younger." Lin Mo's face went pale. Years younger? More like 1 sip and he'd be kicking the bucket. Chapter 78. If you want to learn, I will teach you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lin Mo glanced at the pot of black chicken soup, a slight twitch at the corner of his mouth. "Has anyone actually tasted your soup yet?" Nanzhi shook her head. "Not yet. I was going to ask Uncle's son to give it a try, but he suddenly claimed he had a stomachache, so I held off." Lin Mo's mouth twitched again. Stomachache Huh. More like Sun Fu was scared to death to drink it. He took a deep breath. Nanzhi, honestly, cooking is really a matter of talent. There's a specialization for everything, you know. No need to beat yourself up about this. Nanzhi blinked, surprised. Then, a bit of anger flared in her eyes. Are you saying my soup is awful? Lin Mo winced. Let's just say you're showing a little self-awareness. Nanzhi was speechless with indignation. She stamped her foot. Fine. Don't come begging for a taste later. She grabbed a spoon, scooped up a mouthful, and gulped it down. Her face went white instantly. Clutching her mouth, she bolted for the bathroom and spat it all out. She emerged, pale and leaning against the wall. She stared at the pot with a look of utter horror. That soup was lethal. Lin Mo just shook his head calmly. Okay, why don't you sit down and relax? We'll have lunch together in a bit. Okay. Nanzhi nodded weakly. Huang Yuan chimed in. Should I tell the kitchen to start lunch, boss? No need. Lin Mo pocketed his phone and stood. I'll cook today. He took off his jacket and rolled up his sleeves. Nanzhi looked up at him, curious. You can cook. I know my way around a kitchen. Nanzhi snorted. Oh, really? Lin Mo smiled, not elaborating. He actually didn't know how to cook, not until he got the God-level cooking skills perk. Now, he was ready to roll. Before, with Huang Yuan and the staff around, he'd been too lazy to bother. But since Nanzhi was staying for lunch, why not show off his divine skills? Lin Mo headed into the kitchen and got started. Nanzhi, back on the sofa, pulled up a recipe on her phone, looking confused. It shouldn't be this bad. I only added a few extra ingredients to this recipe. How did it turn out so terrible? Huang Yuan glanced at the recipe on her phone. It was for black chicken ginseng soup. The standard recipe was fine, sure, but she'd added a ton of extra tonics to it. It would be a miracle if it tasted decent. Time passed. About half an hour later, the kitchen door swung open. A powerful, mouth-watering aroma poured out. The staff started bringing out the dishes. Nanzhi sniffed the air. She whirled around to see a feast before her. Her eyes widened, and her mouth watered. Scallion stir-fried mutton, pan-fried yellow croaker, kung pao chicken. Dishes kept coming, each a masterpiece of color, aroma, and flavor. The scent alone was enough to make anyone drool. Nanzhi stared at Lin Mo in disbelief. Lin Mo, did you make all this? Who else? Lin Mo replied casually. Nanzhi was beyond surprised. She was speechless. Alright, let's eat before it gets cold. Okay. Nanzhi practically dove at the table. Half an hour later, she was slumped in her chair, rubbing her stomach, all composure gone. Lin Mo, this food is amazing. You're a regular master chef, not some amateur. She looked at him with a hint of resentment. Lin Mo just smiled. Then, Nanzhi's eyes widened, and she turned back to Lin Mo. Hey Lin Mo, since you're such a good chef, can you teach me how to cook? To be honest, she was still a little sore about her soup disaster, and she wanted to get back on the horse. Lin Mo considered it. Sure, if you're serious about learning, I can teach you hands-on. I promise to teach you everything I know. His tone was sincere. Really? Nanzhi's eyes lit up. Absolutely. Just give me a call when you're free. How about today? Nanzhi was eager to get started. Afraid I can't today. I have an appointment at 3 this afternoon. Oh. Nanzhi looked a little disappointed. But if you don't mind, you can learn from Sister Wu. She's a very good cook. One of the middle-aged women behind them gave Nanzhi a slight nod. Miss Mu, I'd be happy to give you some pointers. I'm not as skilled as the boss here, but I know a thing or two. Nanzhi wasn't thrilled, but she nodded anyway. The lunch continued to be delicious. After a couple swims to help digest, it was about 2:30 in the afternoon. Lin Mo changed into a suit, grabbed the keys to his Lycan, and headed outside. The security guard spotted Lin Mo walking towards the gate. The guard immediately stood up straight and assumed a respectful posture. Mr. Lin. Hey. Lin Mo nodded, looking around. His gaze landed on a fiery red supercar parked near the entrance to the villa area. He walked up, opened the door, and slid into the driver's seat. The security guard looked puzzled at the supercar. What kind of car is that? I don't think I've ever seen one like it before. That he took a few pictures, planning to look it up later. Lin Mo floored the accelerator. The supercar shot forward, blasting out of the complex and quickly out of sight. Chapter 79. Brother Lin, you are more qualified to represent our Tianhe group. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The security guards were planning to look up Lin Mo's car online. Just then, the patrol captain returned. He saw a guard fiddling with his phone and frowned. Zhou Xian. What's going on? The guard jumped, explaining quickly, Captain, I just saw Mr. Lin drive off in a supercar I didn't recognize. I wanted to see what it was. He held out the phone. The captain, hearing it was about Lin Mo, took the phone patiently. Lin Mo was their VIP. Anything about him needed special attention, plus, he was curious. What kind of ride did a big shot like Lin Mo have? The instant he saw the Leakin, his jaw dropped. This is a Leakin supercar. Leakin supercar. Never heard of it, Captain. What is it? The guard looked confused. The captain was speechless. He swallowed hard and whispered, this is one of only 7 of these top-tier supercars in the world. Worth a cool $10 million. And only one existed in the country before now. The guard was stunned, one of only 7 worldwide. A $10 million price tag. Only one other in China. He whistled, looking at the phone with envy. Typical Mr. Lin, getting a ride like that. Meanwhile, Lin Mo had arrived at the auditorium. He parked in the lot and headed inside. He immediately spotted the cameras, each marked with a Shark Fight Live sticker. Shark Fight Live. He was surprised. Hey! Lin Mo. A voice called. Lin Mo turned to see Zhao Village heading his way, beaming. A sharp-dressed young man in his 30s stood beside him. Zhao Village. Lin Mo was surprised. He hadn't expected to see him here. Hey! Lin Mo, small world. Zhao Village grinned. Lin Mo glanced at the other man, puzzled. Who's this? Zhao Village said, oh, where are my manners? This is Mr. Wu Zheng, Vice President of Shark Fight Technology. I got them to co-broadcast the magic show live. Lin Mo felt a little weirded out. He hadn't known it was a shark fight gig. Wu Zheng, noticing Zhao Village's enthusiasm for Lin Mo, looked confused. Something about Lin Mo seemed familiar. Zhao Village continued, Mr. Wu, this is my good friend, Lin Mo. Wu Zheng began, Mr. Lin. But he froze mid-sentence. He stared at Zhao Village, shocked. What did you say his name was? Lin Mo. Why? Wu Zheng was floored, staring at Lin Mo. He suddenly remembered. Now he knew why Lin Mo looked so familiar. Just recently, the board chairman had circulated a memo about their new second-largest shareholder at Shark Fight Technology. And it included a photo of Lin Mo. This guy matched the picture on the memo exactly. Same name, too. Wu Zheng began to tremble. He stammered, Are you Director Lin? Zhao Village was lost. Director Lin. What's that, Mr. Wu? Wu Zheng swallowed. Mr. Zhao, Lin Mo is our second-largest shareholder at Shark Fight Technology. Zhao Village was completely dumbfounded. He stared at Lin Mo, bewildered. Lin Mo, you're a Shark Fight director. Lin Mo nodded casually. Yeah, I picked up a few shares a while back. Nothing major. Wu Zheng and Zhao Village's mouths dropped open. Nothing major. Talk about burying the lead. The second-largest shareholder of Shark Fight Technology. He had to own at least 10% of the company. That was worth a couple $100 million. And to hear Lin Mo tell it, it was nothing at all. They sighed inwardly. Just as Wu Zheng was about to speak, another voice called out behind Lin Mo. Lin. What are you doing here? Lin Mo turned to see Wang Congcong approaching. Wang Congcong. Lin Mo was surprised, the others greeted him. Zhao Village added, Lin Mo, you know Wang too? Lin Mo nodded casually. Yeah, kind of. He turned to Wang, curious. Why are you at this magic show? Wang Congcong grinned. Well, Tianhe Group is sponsoring the show. They originally wanted me to be a judge, but now that you're here, I think you're much more qualified to represent Tianhe Group. That comment piqued Wu Zheng and Zhao Village's interest. Wang, what do you mean? Chapter 80 The play begins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seriously? Wang Congcong is Tianhe Group's kid. Plus, he owns 1% of their stock. That kind of clout. Yeah, he basically is Tianhe Group. But now? He's saying Lin Mo's more qualified to rep them. How's that even compute? Wang Congcong, looking like he'd just been slapped with a wet fish, stared back. Wait, you guys didn't know? Mr. Lin's their second biggest shareholder. He's sitting on 25% of Tianhe's shares. Boom. Wu Zheng and Zhao Ciyuan were poleaxed, no doubt about it. They turned to Lin Mo, eyes wide, swallowing hard, second biggest shareholder of Tianhe. 25%. That's a scary amount of power. And the bank balance to match. Tianhe Group is worth $500 billion, easy. These two were totally gobsmacked, then they remembered Lin Mo's offhand comment about buying Doshark shares being pocket change. They thought he was just being bougie. Turns out, maybe, what seems like a lot to them, to him, it is a drop in the bucket. He's sitting on hundreds of billions in shares. A measly billion. Spare change. Their eyes locked on Lin Mo, full of awe and maybe a little terror. Lin Mo just chuckled. He turned to Wang Congcong, shaking his head. Nah, you were invited to judge the show. You do it. Besides, me judging is kinda awkward. I'm just here to watch my little sister perform. Hearing that, Wu Zheng jumped, practically vibrating with excitement. Oh. Who's your sister? I'm a judge too, so I can give her a boost when it's her turn. Wu Zheng got it. He was also desperate to get on Lin Mo's good side. This was handed to him on a silver platter. Lin Mo smiled. Okay, she's a young lady named Xiaoyuma. I'd appreciate it if you gave her a little love, Mr. Wu. Wu Zheng's jaw nearly hit the floor. No sweat. It'd be an honor to help you out, Mr. Lin. Wang Congcong chimed in, desperate to show he was still in the game. Don't stress, brother Lin. I won't let your sister-in-law get screwed over, not on my watch. Lin Mo just smiled, letting it go. The two judges scampered backstage. Zhao Ciyuan was left, glued to Lin Mo's side like a barnacle. He was suddenly way more respectful, a little like a scolded puppy. A few minutes later, Xiaoyuma bounced into the auditorium. Spotting Lin Mo, she ran over, beaming. Brother! You're here. Lin Mo ruffled her hair. Ready to win this thing? Xiaoyuma's smile widened. She nodded fiercely. Totally. Lin Mo grinned back, but before he could say anything else, a sneering voice cut through the air. Please. You winning? Give me a break. Lin Mo frowned, turning to see who'd said it. A girl sauntered over, a nasty smirk on her face. Wang Yali, what's your problem? Xiaoyuma's brow furrowed. Wang Yali was her biggest rival, always neck and neck in class. Ha! I'm just being real. You're not gonna win this time, honey. Xiaoyuma went pale, realizing what she meant. Did you? Lin Mo's eyes narrowed. He stepped forward and said. Don't worry, the champion spot is yours, guaranteed. Xiaoyuma gave him a small nod, feeling a little better. Wang Yali's eyes flicked over to Lin Mo, standing protectively beside Xiaoyuma. Jealousy flared in her gaze. She had a soft spot for the finer things, so she pegged Lin Mo's clothes as high-end. And then there was the watch, a Patek Philippe. Even the cheapest Patek cost a fortune. This guy was clearly a rich kid. A rich kid who was smitten with Xiaoyuma. Wang Yali suddenly thought about the older man who was taking care of her, a real estate mogul with a gut and a comb-over, old enough to be her grandfather. A wave of nausea washed over her, her resentment reached critical mass. "We'll see about that," she spat, then flounced off. Once Wang Yali was gone, Lin Mo asked. "What's going on?" Xie Mo looked troubled. "Wang Yali's always been competitive. We both want to win this thing. I heard rumors that she hooked up with that real estate guy, and get this, he's one of the judges. I thought it was just gossip, but now I'm not so sure." "I see." Lin Mo's eyes gleamed. He asked, "How many judges are there for the show?" "5 total, 3 industry people, and 2 professional dance judges." Lin Mo nodded. Looks like the show was run semi-professionally. 2 professional judges kept things legit, and the 3 industry judges, well, that was probably a way for the producers to get a cut of the action. He smiled reassuringly. "Alright, forget about her. Just do your best. The championship's yours, capiche? And if you win, I'll get you something nice." "Okay." Xie Mo grinned, her confidence boosted. Not long after that, the show began. The first performers took the stage. After a few performances, the first round of elimination started. Then everyone picked new partners and chose scripts to start all over again.